Hi there. What's this shit? It's literally blizzarding. I mean...
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
That's ridiculous. It's not even subtle. It's like a full-on flipping snowstorm. I went to Ham with Amelia this morning. It was quite nice. It was a bit chilly and it was warming up on the way back, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to be better this afternoon, and now there's a blizzard. I just need to go to the shops and there's a fucking blizzard. Hello, good afternoon. It's what day is it? Thursday? It's Thursday the 7th. I haven't filmed almost anything for such a long time, and the reason is, as you might have guessed, the stress of this house move and the constantly moving goalposts that have, I'll be honest, taken its toll, and we are all very, very tired and under the weather and just not feeling great. However, oh look, squirrel. See, things can be good even when they're not. We do actually have a date for this move now. We are working towards a completion date of the 13th of April, which is next Wednesday. I don't know that I'm going to film much before then, but I thought I should at least record this moment because it feels like light at the end of a tunnel that is so long it felt like a cave, and I can't wait to worry about something else. But I will say that being an adult, it just really sucks. And moving house, I know moving house is stressful, but it shouldn't be as stressful as this. I've moved house before, it's never been like this. And anyway, I'll update you. We'll speak again when we're nearer our new abode. Hello everybody. It is April the 12th. Yesterday was my 42nd birthday. As with the last couple of years, actually, all my birthdays in my 40s, it was not normal, because we're moving house tomorrow and we're living in chaos and everything's very, very stressful. But at least it wasn't in lockdown. That's the first time since 2019. I want to briefly talk about moving house because I need to say something out loud because it's been a journey and I'm still on it. So we complete tomorrow. We also exchange tomorrow. If you know about buying houses, usually there's a week between them. There's lots of reasons for that. One is that they charge you extra if there's not, which you've now got to pay. The other is, if you have to do something between those two things, exchange and completion, like, for example, serve a lease extension notice, then you need time to make sure that everything is, in order and done properly. Usually it takes 2 days. We're going to do it tomorrow in 2 hours. Okay? Which is bonkers. And so this has been a very stressful day. Now, the house purchase, sale, what have you, which we started last July when we put our place on the market, was initially a little stressful because we were short of offers. Then it was quite relaxed because we had an offer accepted and we started looking at places, and then it was a bit stressful again because we tried to buy places and we couldn't because our offers were refused, and we went to final sealed bids. Then it was fantastic, and then since December, I'll be honest, it's been literally terrible. I can say with a high degree of certainty that the last 4 months of my life have been the most miserable and most stressful. No contest. And the fact that it's nearly over is not really very relieving because it still isn't. It's not over until it's over. So it's just unduly silly. And that's me being polite. If I'm honest, I am furious with the buyers, solicitors, both sets, who've been, I would argue, incompetent. I honestly think there's probably a good case for legal action against them. And so, yeah, it's not been the most fun. Now, in 48 hours' time, I'm reasonably hopeful that my mood will be significantly different. But I needed to document quite what a terrible experience this has been, because I'm worried that I will forget it as soon as it's done. And I can't, because I can never do this again. Ever. I'm deadly serious. So that's where we are. I'm picking up Amelia from nursery right now. She's going back to nursery tomorrow morning. Then we're doing all of this stupidity, including moving house, and then we're picking her up and driving her down the A3 to a new house that she's never been in. So I don't imagine that she's going to be completely chill about the whole thing, but I hope I'm wrong. And it's just another level of stress. So, yeah, life's not grand, but it could be very soon. Let's talk about something else very briefly. The Prime Minister is now a criminal. And I don't mean that in just a weird hyperbole, because he was part of a campaign that lied to the people in order to get a vote passed that has made the country weaker, that there was no proper regulation of finance during that, and the Vote Leave team broke the law repeatedly. I don't mean any of that. I mean, as an individual, both him and the current Chancellor have been fined for breaking lockdown rules. That is a breach of the law that they wrote. So they have fixed penalty notices. You don't get a criminal record with that, but it is a crime and you have committed it, therefore, ergo, you are a criminal. Now, whether they will leave office is by no means certain, because despite the fact they lied to Parliament, and despite the fact they broke the law, both of which are breaches of the ministerial code, there is no mechanism for removing them except that their vote of no confidence could happen and they could be ousted. I don't think that will happen. Well, I do think a vote of confidence might happen, but I don't think they'll be ousted. Think of that for a moment. As a country that's claiming moral authority right now, whilst a war is going on in Ukraine, we have a leadership with none. Where acts of criminality and lack of moral leadership, how on earth is that helpful to the people of Ukraine? Apparently we can't change Prime Minister because there's a war in Ukraine, which is absurd. We did it during the Second World War. How is it helpful to have leadership which is now void of morality and rife with criminality? It is not, because it is literally a weapon to be used against us by the Russian government. So I have to say, this is the new lowest low that this government has managed to stoop to. Possibly the lowest low of any government of this country ever. And that should be shocking in itself. But what I'm reasonably confident of saying is that this isn't the lowest low that they will go to, because there is still at least, 2.5 years left of this government, and I imagine they will plumb new depths. It's moving out day. I'm sorry I haven't recorded more. This process has been exhausting and not particularly pleasant. We're all empty and the vans have gone and we just need to start the car. Hello, this is where I live now, or more precisely, that one in the middle there. The last 48 hours have been miserable, stressful, expensive, but I don't care, because we're in, and it's all I've wanted for 6 months, and we're finally in, and it doesn't feel real because it's been impossible. Every single step has been impossible. Nothing has been straightforward. Even today, when we were doing exchange and completion at the same time, it got to 2 o'clock and we hadn't exchanged. What the absolute hell? So we had to ring up the estate agent, the solicitor, and give him hell and shout and scream, and then suddenly 25 minutes later we'd exchanged. Hooray! And then an hour after that we completed on this place, and the relief was so enormous that it still hasn't fully sunk in. I can't describe it, and tomorrow is a new day, and I'm like the 4 months of misery behind us, and there's a lot to do, a hell of a lot to do, but this is the problem I wanted, and that's the problem I was tired of. This is a good problem, and that was a bad one. So, hooray! Oh, I wish I could express to you the relief I'm feeling. I just can't. It's so enormous, it defies words. And I probably won't stop talking about it for months. Oh, I've moved to a new house. Hooray for me! Hi, happy Friday. What a week. I'm tired. Everybody's tired. And, we're all coming down with colds now because stress related, no doubt. Oh, this is Kew, by the way. Yes, I don't live here anymore. But we have come back because I'm meeting people in Kew Gardens. And whilst we're here, I've got to go and pick up things that were delivered for Amelia yesterday. I believe it or not, one day after we moved, one parcel slipped through the net. Very frustrating. Anyway, it's nice to be here, so can't complain too much. It's probably even nicer. We went into our garden this morning when it's still cold, about 8 o'clock. Had a wander around, explored. The end of the garden is so far away. Amelia turned to me and said, I want to go back to the new house, as if we'd somehow wandered miles from where we'd left. Anyway, it's great, and it's going to be great fun this summer, and we're going to, start improving it, and we'll have our little office in there, and it's going to be grand. But for now, I've got to go and pick up a parcel and buy some lunch. I mean, it's been less than 48 hours since I moved, so in some ways this doesn't feel weird yet, because this is still, part of my burbs, as it were. Like, I know every road. Once you know a place really well, you don't sort of see everything because you've seen it. So your subconscious kind of fills in the gaps. And that's still doing it. At some point, I'll come back here and I'll see everything again, as it were, properly, like for the first time. It's a beautiful day to be in Kew, though. I mean, damn. If you wanted to know why you live in Kew Gardens, today's the answer. That said, I'm so happy we've moved. I love our house, even though it's currently, how can I put this nicely? Its current condition is rubbish. That's probably the best way of putting it. But its potential is endless, and the garden is also endless.